The value of your money is a lie, not a malicious lie, but a structural one, voted into existence by desperation. For 5 decades, the greatest prosperity in world history was built on a simple promise: the dollar was as good as gold. But every system holds a weakness. The flaw of the gold standard was the fatal restraint it placed on political ambition. This is the secret history of August 15, 1971, the day a single stroke of a pen shattered the global financial contract. The Bretton Woods Agreement established the dollar as the undisputed reserve currency after World War II. Every currency was pegged to the dollar, and the dollar was fixed to gold at $35 an ounce. This was the era of the gold discipline. This discipline built stability by forcing governments to be fiscally honest. Reckless printing was restricted, but political ambition is the true enemy. The costs of the Vietnam War and massive domestic spending pushed the government to cheat. They printed more money than they had gold. The dollar became a hollow promise, and savvy nations began to notice the discrepancy. France's Charles de Gaulle was the first to declare war, initiating a gold run on Fort Knox. As more nations joined, the U.S. was hemorrhaging gold. The promise of the dollar was backed by less than 25% of its reserves. The financial system was teetering. Nixon and his advisors were flown in secret to Camp David for an emergency meeting. The choice was stark: cut spending, raise taxes, or shatter the global financial contract forever. On that Sunday night, August 15, 1971, Nixon chose the third path. He unilaterally declared the dollar would no longer redeem gold. This was the birth of the fiat mechanism, currency now backed by nothing but the government's decree. To prevent collapse, the U.S. replaced gold's backing with oil's demand. All global oil sales must be in U.S. dollars. This created artificial demand and gave the dollar a new black gold anchor. The financial restraint was gone. The U.S. government was now free to print without limit to finance any program or war. This freedom ushered in the age of quantitative easing and the explosion of the national debt, now nearing $35 trillion. The true engine of the debt is the loss of the gold discipline. Since 1971, there is no physical limit on the U.S. government's liability. The market's central nervous system became debt and systemic leverage, inventing complex products to hide the risk. They engineered derivatives, turning simple loans into instruments of mass destruction, a deliberate engineered opacity. This mechanism exploded in 2008. The unlimited issuance of currency fed the subprime beast, leading to the global systemic crisis. The government response was quantitative easing, QE, a soft war on your savings to pay off old debts with new, weaker dollars. The only way to pay the debt is to devalue the currency, making inflation the silent, unavoidable tax on every citizen. The $35 trillion debt machine's final output. Below the surface, the true liability is the loss of public faith in the currency's future value. Your greatest liability is the unlimited fiscal license granted to the state since 1971. This is the code you must break. History is not repeating, but it is rhyming. We have seen this exact sequence of collapse many times before. The Roman example: the denarius was systematically debased to finance estate costs. Future poverty was bought with present currency. The Weimar parallel: the Weimar Republic printed money to pay war costs, leading to hyperinflation, so severe currency was literally worthless. This is the final consequence. The state uses the currency system as a sponge to absorb its own fiscal irresponsibility. Today, nations are finding their own financial discipline outside the fiat system. BRICS countries are strategically declaring the petrodollar era is ending, using the U.S.'s own historical lessons against it. Their massive accumulation of physical gold is a clear signal they anticipate the dollar's reckoning. Cryptocurrency is the modern version of the gold discipline. It's a transparent ledger that a politician cannot unilaterally manipulate. The $35 trillion liability is a historical certainty. The only variable is when the global market loses its confidence. The map is clear. Financial sovereignty requires you to hold value that your government cannot print or destroy. Don't be a victim of the debt machine. Master the map, learn the rules, and protect your own capital. This is the ultimate lesson of capital history. Join the journey to decode the financial secrets that built and broke the world. Subscribe now to master the map and avoid the collapse.